We'll record. All right. Good morning. How are you doing, Jack?
I'm doing well. Thank you very
Hmm.
much.
Oh, good. Well, thanks for joining us on In the Zone. Everybody, it's Monday, it's President's Day, and we don't usually do shows, as you know, on holidays, but my friend Jack from Habitat for Humanity in Pasco, Pinellas and West Pasco, has some exciting stuff to share. And so we wanted to be sure to get it out to everybody that joins us on Monday at 9 and or watches the recording. So, Jack, why don't you introduce yourself to our members and our viewers and talk a little bit about yourself and your military experience.
Oh, wonderful. Well, thank you for having me this morning to share a little bit about myself as well as this wonderful organization. And also thank you for all you do for our community. It's pretty amazing what you have going on over there.
Uh, thank
Um,
you.
yeah, my name is Jack Shanks. I'm the Chief Program Officer here at Habitat for Humanity. And my job here is to work with all the new people coming into our program, which I'll talk about in a little bit, and get them all the way through an education to the day that they get their mortgage. But my military career started right out of high school. I was kind of done with school, and I was what am I going to do? What's out there? And I went to the recruiter's office. I looked at all of them, and the Marines really sold it to me. They sold it hard. um, and they said, "Yeah, you can work with helicopters and stuff like that." And I've never been around helicopters. It sounded amazing. Uh, so yeah, I joined right out of high school. And I went to boot camp the day before my birthday, December 1993, and I actually met my drill instructors on my birthday, which worked out to my favor because they were too busy to really recognize it was my birthday. I saw some recruits later on that really didn't pan so well for them. But after that, my MOS was 6072 aviation support equipment. So I work with tow tractors and cranes and all kinds of cool stuff. And when my first enlistment was coming to a close, I had just gotten my crane driver's license, and I could not think of anything cooler than driving the crane. So I re-enlisted, and I fell in love with the Corps even more. I got to be a drill instructor at Parris Island, which is why my voice is the way it is, because I didn't do it right at first and it blew my voice out. So, but that was, man, what a great time that was. I loved being a drill instructor. That was really, really cool. And I have lots of recruits that I still keep in contact with, and some that are local, which is, I love it. I love it. Um, I retired in 2014 out of Okinawa, Japan. I was at the 1st Marine Aircraft Wing, and the civilian correlation to my job was regional manager. So I had all the aviation support equipment assets in the Pacific region, which meant a lot of travel and inspections. It was such a cool job. So yeah, that was my Marine Corps history in a nutshell.
So, how did you get to the Tampa Bay area?
So I retired out of Okinawa, and the Marine Corps said, "We will send you wherever you want to go." Um, and my wife and I had never been to the Tampa Bay area before. I think I've been through once passing, but while I was in high school. So she came back and looked at somewhere that was warm near the water. The Clearwater area was it. She found a house. I wasn't here, so she sent me pictures, and we actually bought it over the internet, which was crazy at the time. Um, and I started working. Now, when I first retired, I had a really hard time finding a job. The wonderful people over at Hertz at the Tampa airport gave me a chance. They gave me a shot and said, "Look, we recognize that you have managerial skills. Let's see what you got." And I did that for a while. Then one day, I got a call from the wife of a Marine that I'd known for, well, since 1998. She says, "Hey, what do you think about working with volunteers?" And I said, "I don't know. I was a drill instructor. I'm not sure how that's going to go." She says, you should give it a shot. Turns out they were local. Now, we were neighbors in Okinawa, and now we're here in Clearwater area. And day one, fell in love with Habitat, the mission, everything about it. And the one thing that I was really worried about when I left the Marine Corps was I would never find that camaraderie and that the sense of purpose and team. And oh man, I found it here. It is amazing working with this group of people here. They're passionate, they're driven. We see and touch the mission every day. It's pretty amazing. So that's how I got here.
Are y'all hiring? You just sold it.
I'm sorry. A little bit.
Okay, sorry,
Bit.
that's awesome. I mean, we met in, was it 2014? 15, I think, right? 2015, 16,
That
maybe.
sounds about right.
Yeah, we were both recognized by the Tampa Bay Business and our the Business Journal back in the day when they had their, what was it called? Heroes at Work.
Here's at
They
work.
don't have
Yeah.
that anymore, unfortunately. That left when Bridget Bello, left as a publisher, or that ended when she left as a publisher, because she's such a huge, supporter of the military. But anyway, we were both um, heroes at work the same year, right?
What a huge honor that was. Yes, ma'am.
I
That was great.
know. And well, you were already in the community for a couple years, right?
Yes. I was about
Yeah.
2 years in.
Yeah, and I guess I was too, but it was still very just overwhelming. I was like, well, I'm just doing what we do, doing what the military taught us to do, which was to contribute to the mission to, better make our current environment better the way or better than the way it was when we entered it,
Right.
right? Yeah, so we've been following each other for quite a while.
We have.
Yeah, yeah.
And our
And
leadership Fidelis graduates, all that good stuff.
yeah, I know. And I was so fortunate that through my company, Luminary, when Morgan asked or introduced me to Sandra to, teach a class on how to prepare for hurricanes, and kind of brought us back together again.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. So yeah, it was pretty awesome. So talk about or tell us about what Habitat has going on for veterans. I know you guys have something special going on, but just the whole part of your mission that touches the veteran community.
Yes, we have a veterans bill. Now we have all kinds of special bills that we do. We have the faith bill, and we had the House That Law bill. It was a bunch of law organizations. We had the House That Beer built, which was a bunch of local breweries coming together to raise the money and build a home for a family. But one that's near and dear to my heart is the veterans bill, and this isn't something that's just here at our habitat. It's in many habitats across the nation. And what it does is we celebrate the contributions that our veterans make uh, to the community. It's being a veteran and going through the armed forces it's not an easy life. It's not. It's very rewarding, but it's not easy. So when you enter the civilian world, there are many challenges that a lot of people don't recognize because they want to empathize, but it's hard unless you've actually walked in those shoes. So this is the opportunity to really say, look, thank you for what you've done for our country. Thank you for the time, that gift of time and life that you've put forward. Let's build a house together. And we will work with different people in the community that raised the money to build this house for the veteran. And this year we have the Remsen family, Troy and Richard. Richard is an Army veteran. And we are taking them under our wings. We are getting them together. We're going to build their house in Clearwater. It's really coming together. And the lot that we're building on was donated by Martin Gramatica, former Buccaneer. And he's the one that said, look, this lot, I want it to go to a veteran. And of course, we have this wonderful family here, and they are amazing. And we're going to work together to build this home, and it's going to be getting underway here shortly.
That's incredible. So how talk to, excuse me, the application process. And I know in talking with Habitat in the past, even before I met, Morgan, who was my Leadership Tampa Bay cohort member, um, but that Habitat has a hard time finding veterans to build homes for. So kind of tell us about that process and, why is it hard to find veterans and how can we help you in the future find veterans that qualify?
I think, thank you. I think one of the leading causes is, being in the military. There's a sense of pride that comes along with it. We want to work. We want to, earn it. You don't get the title soldier, airman, marine without that hard work and discipline that comes along with it. It's not given, it's earned. It's not like a recruiting commercial, but Habitat is the same way. There's a myth out there that these homes are free. They're absolutely not free. Um, Not only are they not free, you're going to put in work. You're going to put in sweat equity, which is going out and swinging a hammer on the home. You're not just building your house, you're building other people's houses. So I think a lot of veterans will see Habitat like, I don't want a free house. I'm telling you, it's not free. We're going to work you. We're going to put you to work.
You're gonna
Uh,
earn it.
you're going to earn it. A lot of times we also find that veterans have income. They have retirement income or disability money or other income that they don't think they can use towards their mortgage, and that's not the case. You can, and we can show you how to do that. And at the end of the day, if we get you in here and we're looking at all your income, you're like, okay, this is cool. I do have all this income, but maybe Habitat's not right for me. That's fine. That's fine. At the end of the day, we want to make sure that you are in a home, that you can purchase a home. And if we are the catalyst to make that happen, even if it's through somebody else, we're going to sit down and we're going to have that conversation and give you those options. Of course, it's hard to beat a 0% interest mortgage. That's what you're getting through Habitat. That's what makes this program, at the end of the day, so beneficial, not just to the people that we serve, but to the community as a whole, because we're making homeowners that are contributing to the tax base in our community, and they become integral parts of those communities. So veterans, let's talk. Let's sit down. Let's look at your income. Let's look at your debt. If the answer is no at this time, that's okay. We're going to come up with a plan of attack so we can move forward, fix those issues, and then move forward into a home.
Yeah, because like when people in our community own homes, they they begin to have a sense of ownership of the community around their home, right? And so I think that yeah, home ownership is it's the American way. It is the way that we really like become grounded, in the communities that we live. You said something about, oh, one of the things I absolutely love about Habitat, and something that I didn't know until years ago when I was first approached about helping to find veterans that qualify, is that, like you said, it's not just a free home, even if it's 0% interest, because they have to contribute physically in, helping to build the home. But you guys teach them how to fish. You don't give them the fish. And where I'm going with that is all the classes that are required in order to become a Habitat homeowner beyond swinging the hammer. So talk about like the classes that are required to get your home.
Absolutely. I remember when I was in the Marines and I was a young Marine, I think I was a Lance Corporal. They had the MCI, this is what they called a Marine Corps institution. And one of them was budgeting for Marines. And it was very, very basic, but I still remember the stuff that I learned in that book. One of the first class, the first week somebody's in the program, they get 3 classes. One's an orientation, one's learning about how to sign up for things and get out there and do your sweat equity. But the third one is Introduction to Budgeting. It is a 5-hour class that is, it's hard to believe it, but it's action packed. You do not walk out of there unhappy. Everybody walks out with a smile on their face because you learn all the money that you actually have. It is not uncommon for people to walk out of this program with $10, $15, $20,000 in their account, having done nothing more than tweak a couple things on their budget. And of course, we hold you accountable to that while you're in the program through monthly checks and conversations. It's very up close and personal, but at the end of the day, it creates this monster homeowner that is set for life. The other classes that we have range from, of course, the finances, but we also have home maintenance classes. My favorite class, actually not my second favorite class, is being a good neighbor. The being a good neighbor class takes some things that you would think are common sense, but aren't really if you've ever lived in a homeowners association or a neighborhood filled of other people. They're given the keys and say, go be a homeowner, and they don't know what they're doing. They don't know how to speak to their neighbors and get along well. This class is instrumental in creating good neighbors. And the people that come out of our program are widely known as amazing neighbors, because they are. Um, my favorite class is actually the kids class. We have a lot of kids in our program. Now, that's actually an important thing. You do not have to have kids. You don't have to be married. You don't have to have a spouse or a partner. You can be a single person and still qualify for this program, and we will build you a house, um, with your help, of course. But the kids, there's two of them. There's a younger kids class and a teens class. The What's amazing to me about that is what the children say in these classes. I remember the very first kids class that was taught. Um, Xavier from our team asked the children, "What is Habitat all about?" And there was a silence for a few minutes, and then a little boy, about 8 years old, 7, 8 years old, raised his hand and said, "Habitat is all about the budgeting." And I mean, that's all it took. The place went wild. All the parents were just amazed. That means that the parents are actually going home and talking to their kids and speaking to them about their journey and what's going on. So not only are the parents becoming these amazing homeowners, the children along the way, their culture is changing along with that. They're going to become better people and better citizens and better products to our community because of what their parents are going through. So yes, the parents are going through these courses. There's 32 of them, plus, and getting all this information. But the children are really the ones that are taking it to the next generation and their kids. So it's a trickle effect. It's pretty amazing.
Yeah, well, it is, and it's so evident by the smile on your face how, you
It's
are so invested in what you're doing, that's pretty incredible. So how does somebody in our military community apply for a home? What's the vetting process? How do they qualify?
Sure. There has to be, there's three main things that are needed. One, we have to prove that there's a need. The need can be financial. You can't afford to go out there and purchase something, or maybe the house is coming down around you, or maybe you're in an overcrowded situation or on Section 8 or something like that. That's one. The second thing is having the ability to pay. There has to be income because this is a real mortgage. um, when you get that bill, which a lot of times it comes out electronically, you're paying towards yourself. You're paying towards your future. It's not rent. It's a mortgage. So there has to be the willingness to pay. And thirdly, there has to be a willingness to partner. Meaning, you're going to come out and you're going to swing a hammer. You're going to do your split. You're going to attend the classes, and you're going to abide by the rules of the program, as well as what we're asking you to do. Like I said, this is not an easy program. It's not hard. It's challenging. It's kind of like a boot camp for home ownership is really what it is. Maybe that's why I like it so much. Um, but yeah, those three things. Now, financially, when somebody comes and meets with me, we're going to look for three more things. Number one, area median income, which is how much your household of however many makes compared to other households of the same household size in our area. We have to make sure that the applicant is between 30% and 75% of that area median income, not to exceed 80%. And we figure that out. That's step one. Step two, how much of your income is going to be paid towards the Habitat mortgage? We have to make sure that it's estimated to be less than 30%. Anything more than that, it's not considered affordable. Step three, we're going to pull that credit report. We're going to see what's on there. Honestly, I don't care about the credit score at the beginning. Credit score doesn't mean anything to me. What makes a difference to me is what's on the credit report. What are those minimum monthly payments? I have to make sure that the applicant is not spending more than 41% of their income towards debt. Now, if any one of those three things is out of whack, we're going to look at it. We're going to drill down. We're going to figure out what that is. Maybe you need more income. We're going to talk about how to make that happen, what that looks like. If this is your goal, this is what you need to do to make it happen. If it's debt, debt's too high, or maybe you have no debt, which is also a problem. We're going to talk about how to fix that, how to attack that. And it might take you 4 or 5 months, it might take you a year, it might take you 2 years. It doesn't matter. You attack it, you get it done, and we're going to move forward. And that's not just our veteran community, that anybody that comes to me, we're going to have the same conversation. And we have 120 households in the program right now, all going through this, and it's magical, the transition that happens when people stick to it. To get started, our website is habitatpwp.org. On our website, there's an apply button. You click that apply button and follow the prompts. It's going to direct you to what to do. There's another button that says get started. It all makes complete sense. You go in there and you enter all of your information. You read through the online orientation portion, and then you're going to upload documents. We're looking for pay stubs, award letters like SSI disability, bank statements, things like that are going to paint a picture of you financially. We're going to know how many people are in your household. We're going to figure all that stuff out. Once that's done, my special request is that you contact me directly. My direct contact is Jack Shanks at habitatpwp.org. That's JSHANKS at habitatpwp.org. And the reason I'm saying that is if people contact me directly, I can work with them to get them an appointment. Otherwise, you're competing for the spots that are online, which is fine. That's fine. You will fill the spots. The problem is they fill as quickly as we can create them. But if people contact me directly, I can ensure that they're going to get an appointment. They're going to get seen and talked to. Veterans, if you're listening and you want a shot at this and you want to see what this is all about, please contact me. We'll sit down, we'll have a conversation. We'll take a look at everything, determine what your best course of action is, and we're going to lay out a plan for you. Again, at the end of the day, of course, I want you to go through Habitat, but if the stars align and your homeownership journey takes you somewhere else, that's fine too. I want to make sure you get into a home and you become a homeowner, because there's nothing better than being a homeowner in our community.
Incredible. So with the veteran build, the current veteran build, what do you need? How can we help you?
So for the veterans build, we're going to be looking for volunteers. So if you want to come out and you want to swing a hammer, I just need to know. The director of programs, who's in charge of volunteers, is Xavier Oliver. He's on my team. I'll put you in contact. We'll get you signed up for that build. The calendar hasn't been introduced yet, but when it comes out, we're gonna fill it. It's gonna be awesome. If you are the owner of an organization and you want to donate towards the veterans build, again, let me know. I'm gonna put you in touch with our development officer, and you can be a part of creating this home for this wonderful family. Those are really the main components. Now, advocacy is also a big thing, which doesn't just touch the Remsen family, it touches all the veterans. So I need more veterans to apply. I need them to come to the steps, say, look, I'm willing to take this challenge. You've already taken a challenge before. This is a new challenge that I bet is more challenging than you might think. But we're with you the entire time. And man, what an amazing journey that is. So that's a little bit about the Remsen family, what we need for this build. We're looking for volunteers. We're looking for donors and sponsors for this thing. It's going to be awesome.
Right. I'd mentioned to you before that we started 9 a.m. on Mondays here in 2020, and somehow we've continued. So a lot of our viewers will watch the show later. So on our Facebook page, Actions on Facebook page, in the chat of this video, you can put your contact information, websites, the donor or opportunities to sponsor the build in the chat, and they'll go back and take a look. So, what time? Oh gosh, we're almost at 30 minutes. Just seems like we just started this. I guess my question that might kind of derail, you know, the conversation is currently with our economy and inflation and all the things, 50%, it has been reported, 50% of every dollar earned goes to housing and transportation. So what can or what is Habitat doing for those, the homeowners, knowing that, because you said it can't be more than 30 and 40%. How is your program helping with the current inflation crisis?
So we have some amazing banking partners and donors and sponsors. utilize down payment assistance in the different municipalities, and all of that goes to lower the cost of the home. We have some amazing townhomes that we're building. These are not apartments. These things are incredible. Matter of fact, the townhomes that we're building in Largo right now are actually a little bit bigger square footage wise than our actual homes that we're building, which is phenomenal. We're building several. So it's going to be 52 townhomes. We're building in Largo. We're doing 3 different townhomes and communities in St. Petersburg. We have another few set for some other areas going up into West Pasco County, which is going to be incredible. All of those are helping to alleviate what people are fretting the most. Rent has been skyrocketing, and it's putting people in positions where they're having to sell the home because even the landlords can't afford to keep the homes. So
Yeah.
people are being put out and trying to find something else that's already skyrocketed. We're alleviating that by making sure that the mortgage is affordable, not just now, but going into the future. The mortgages are way less than what you're going to find for rent out there. So does
Yeah.
that kind of answer your question?
Yeah, it does. It's funny you're talking about the townhomes because several years ago I had, I help veterans with their businesses and they wanted to expand their residential construction business to the Tampa Bay area and was asking, my thoughts on the opportunity. And I told him, I was like, I really feel like there's a lack of townhome developments in the Tampa Bay area. And now townhomes are popping up everywhere. Yeah.
Yeah,
And I was like, man, why didn't I take off with that business idea? I gave it away. Someone's listening to me. So that's great. Well, Jack, thank you so much for joining me at 9 a.m. on Monday morning, President's Day. And again, we'll put all of the information in the chat on how you can reach Jack and be part of this veteran build, whether it's volunteering, donating, or as he said, just being an advocate for the mission. What do we got coming up? Oh, well, we have a current cohort in right now. It's our virtual, which we probably will only do one a year, so that we can provide this opportunity for veterans and military spouses across Florida. But we are actively accepting applications for our next in-person cohort, which starts in April. And I will tell you the exact day. April 6th is the first Saturday in April. So be sure to put your application in. What else? The ECC, as you know, is our home. That's where our office is. We've got always 1 million cups, Cigar City Toastmasters. And for those that are new to following us, uh, Russ and Rosie started Cigar City Toastmasters specifically to support entrepreneurs uh, to get comfortable with talking in public about who they are and their businesses. Action Zone has a Take Action workshop when Thursday night at 6 p.m. That is local resources for entrepreneurs presented by our very favorite Rosie Lee. What else is going on? AI driven business lead generation, leadership roundtable, wow, we got a pretty exciting week coming up at the ECC. So make sure to check out their website and register for those classes that are coming. Again, Jack, thank you so much. It's been great for our journeys to be, crossing paths over these years in the Tampa Bay area. You definitely sold Habitat. So if you guys are hiring, put those the job link in the chat too, because I know somebody's going to be asking me for it.
sure. Hey, thank you very
All
much
right.
for the time, and thank you for all you do for our community and for our veterans. You're a huge advocate out there. Love it.
Thank you. I can't turn it off. I've tried. Yeah. Sometimes I'm like, oh, I have to, my own stuff to take care of, but taking care of our military is yeah, it's just who I am. So thank you for recognizing that.
Wonderful. Thank you so much.
All right, take care. Have a good week, everybody. Bye, Jack.
Bye.